Hey guys, it's Maymay and one of my trusty sidekicks. No. It's Maymay and Made It. Which Made It is it?
It's me. It's Brenda.
It's Brenda. We finally have her on the channel. You guys are going to be super excited. Look, we have our hands in so you can see we're both in the room, right? Okay, this is the paper pack she's using, and I'm sure you're going to talk about this in your video, but I want to let you guys know this is on order. It's a beautiful paper pack. Brenda picked it out, wanted to use it. So it may be here when this video goes up, but it may not. If it's not, there's a link in the description below where you can go and put it on your wish list if you want to pick it up. She'll talk about it. But Brenda is going to make for you guys a vintage linen and lace and other things album, right?
Right. Got a little bit of everything. Old, new, little stamping either. And I am.
Y'all. So without further ado, Brenda's going to start. Well, let me say this. This is going to be a multiple part video. So this will probably be 3 parts. We don't know for sure, but look for 3 parts. Can you believe we got her? I know. Give a thumbs up for Brenda being in the craft room.
Thank you for letting me be here. I love it. I'm excited. All right, let's get started. I'm here trying to tell you how to do one of my journals that I do. I'm really excited about this because there's some new products. I'm going to use a little bit of stamping, a little bit of watercolor. I just got everything laid out here. You'll see it eventually. It'll migrate itself into this little puddle probably. So I just wanted to get started with that. Tell you thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy it because you know I normally do things that are a little crazy and outside the box. So I went ahead and cut my paper. It's not paper, it's actually cardstock. We have this in stock. I cut it 6 by 8 because I like that size for 2 reasons. One, you can take your full sheet and you cut it in half. So you've got 2 sides you can use. And then what's left over, you have your little, you can use these as the little pages in there. If you want, you can use them long ways, short ways, any way you want to. So I'm gonna do, this is something that I've started doing that I really enjoy. I've started using some papers into the journal instead of just lace and linens because there's so many pretty papers out there now. And this pack right here is coming soon. It's a great pack to have. There's so many different ones. Let me just show you a few I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one. Is that not beautiful? And then these really excite me because you can cut out and use these just like you do stickers. And you can put various ones in there. They have pages of that. This is great for card making, especially if you like that vintage vibe like I do. You can take this page out of my book and you can use it as a card making gift. So, you know, this makes it life easier and you can use less linen and lace because it's getting really hard to find. But I went through here and I picked out some of the papers that I want. This is called the heirloom. Like I said, it's coming soon. I think it's going to retail for about $20, give or take $1. Y'all know me, I'm never right on spot on. So it's going to be about that. But there's 180 pages of just pure lusciousness. It's all got a vintage vibe. It's all got that look that you want, the distressed look. It's got oh, look at that one. I'm gonna have to remember that one. Oh my goodness, look at there. That's beautiful. But I'm really excited about this paper. And like I say, it's coming soon. So let's get going. On my first page, I was flipping through all of my stuff last night. Let me show you what my stuff is. I was flipping through all of my stuff last night. Okay, don't you love all this prettiness? Got different pieces of linens and lace that I've just collected, and it's just little snatches of things that if I see something, or if my friend Mary is cutting, she has vintage fabrics and vintage clothes, and I try to go and see her and get all of her little stuff that she's going to throw away or give away or put in a pack. And that's where all of the kits come from that I make you all when we go to Made It Con. But this time, as I was looking, I found a piece of quilt. And it immediately popped in my mind what I wanted to do for the front. So let's see how we can get that done. This paper, when I was flipping through, I saw this paper and look, is that not a great match? a great match. So what I'm gonna do like you say, I could do my cutter, but y'all know me, I'm gonna do it this way. Probably gonna freak some people out, but it just works great for me because I don't always have my pencil's not working here. What is wrong? Did I get one that doesn't have any lid? Of course I did. Oh well, I'll use my Sharpie. Oh wait a minute, I have one over here. I'd rather use a pencil. Sorry to get out of the frame. I'd rather use paper. Peaches has done such a good job of getting me in frame. So here we go. Let's mark this. And I'm just gonna cut down that line. This paper, it looks like old wallpaper. Doesn't this look like a piece of old wallpaper that would be in your grandmother's house? I know it does mine. So, I'm gonna take this and take our trusty glue that I just love. I don't know what I did before I had this, and I'm just gonna put a bead all down because I want it to be down really good. I'll be glad when all you cold weather friends are able to get this glue. I know it's really been difficult for all of you that are in the frozen tundras up above us. Okay, all right, I'm gonna glue that down. Now, I want to take this. Now, my thinking process is not pre-done. My thinking process is as I go. So I really want these certain colors of blue. That certain color, I really like that certain color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where I want it. I'm going to put me a dot of glue right here and a dot of glue right here. And I'm going to let it sit just a second. Then I'm going to flip it over. And as y'all know, I don't care if it hangs over or not. And I'm just going to cut it out. Now I'm kind of being mindful of not, it sounds like my mother's kitchen table when she used to cut out dresses. I don't care if it hangs over. I don't want it to be much of an overlap, but I don't care if it hangs over a little bit. That just kind of adds another little dimension to it. So there we go. And I'm gonna put this aside. I don't know if I'll use it again on this project or not. Okay, there. Now that I've got that done, I'm gonna go ahead and glue him down. And I'm only gonna glue him down. I'm only going to glue this down on 3 sides because in my mind I got a little pocket idea that I want to use. Got a little over there. Okay. Now I'm going to take some of my things that I have here. I'm going to think about what I want. I think I want some daisies along the bottom. Aren't those daisies pretty? Let's do 3 of them. I think I want those along the bottom. And then I want something to kind of flap over that's a little different. I think I want this. Now this is the reason I like using the papers, is because see that blue kind of pops out over there? And I'm really liking the way that does. And I've got this little flap going here. Now remember I said, I'm gonna cut this way so it'll be a little easier to use. Remember I said I wanted that pocket, so I'm really keeping that in mind. It's about that pocket that's up there. So I'm gonna angle this a little bit so I can have, the glue won't be in that stitch in there. It's gonna be on the fabric. That just makes it easier. All right, so let's do that. Just gonna take it here. Now remember, you've got a little bit of time. That's one of the reasons I like this glue, is I have a little bit of time to play with it. Because you all know, sometimes I change my mind midstream and then I'm in trouble. Okay, so hold it down. This glue will glue anything. I'm telling you, this fabric, I was shocked when I found out it could cover that it would hold fabrics together. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of hold that just a second so it'll kind of give me a little stick in here. Okay. Now I'm not gonna cut that because I want it to come up so I can have a secret pocket under here. There we go. All right, so let's cut that off. I'm gonna leave that hanging. Let's cut that off. Almost there. Just love the way that sounds. Do y'all remember when Mama used to sit on the cat? I do. I don't know if you all do. She used to cut on the kitchen table. She'd get down and cut her patterns and on the kitchen table, and it always made that sound. I always loved the way that sound was. I always knew I was getting a new dress. I don't know if any of you all wore homemade clothes, but I did, and I loved them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reglue. Sometimes you have to do a second little coat. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. So I just make sure that it's all down good. Okay, now I'm liking the way that's looking. That's good. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to take my little daisies that I dropped on the floor, but I'm not going to pick them up. I'm going to cut 3 more. Y'all know this is kind of new to me, being by myself. Normally I have Maymay over there, or I have somebody that I can bounce things off, Vinny. Maybe somebody will come in here in a little while and grace us, so you won't have to just listen to me. I tell you, today, I don't know about you all, but today it is one of our Alabama weathers. It's cold in the morning and warm at night, in the afternoon, and then it'll probably rain. And like I say, sometimes with the fabrics you have to put a little extra oomph in there. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is get us a little extra glue on there. There we go. Now, my mind, I want something really cute on here. So I gathered up some of my buttons. You all have been in my button bag before, so y'all know what it looks like. But I found this one when I was looking, and I think I want him in the middle of that daisy. And all I'm going to do is just glue around him and stick him on there and hold him just a second. All right, now the other thing that I want to do is I want to find a really thin piece of lace, because I want to lay it right here over this. I just want to lay it right there on that edge. And that gives it another dimension, plus it kind of hides a few of the little bumps and bobbles that you might have. And don't worry if the glue comes through the lace, because it's going to dry clear. Don't pull it too tight. If you pull it too tight, it stretches it out. Alright, now I'm going to go and do this side. This is really it's a different technique, I know, but I love doing it because it's I love the fabrics, and you don't have to measure much, and y'all know I'm one that doesn't measure. Let me get a little gooey there. There we go. Now I'm gonna straighten up this little, there we go. I'm gonna straighten that up just a little bit. Probably need to get my smaller scissors. There we go. All right. Love the way that's flapping up. All right, now, as I look at this, I want another depth to it. I like to have some dimension and some depth, but I don't want it to be too heavy, because this is light and then this is heavy. This kind of anchors it down. So I'm going to look for a piece that's kind of frilly, kind of light. I think this might do it. I'm not sure. Maybe it will. I think it will, don't you all? I think it's going to. Let me trim this off a little bit. Just trim off whenever you need to, because all of this has already been, it's either had holes in it or it's been used for something else. You know, doing a little trimming on it is fine. And sometimes I've been asked before, how do you figure out what's the top and what's the bottom? Well, sometimes it's like this one. It really doesn't matter which one's the top and which one's the bottom. Sometimes it's really, I don't know if you can see, but that's one side, which actually is the bottom. This is actually the top. I don't know if you can see the difference, but it really doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna I just want this back part to be glued down. I don't want the edging to be glued down. Okay, now without really realizing it, I've decided this is the side that the rings go on. Okay, we're gonna hold that down a minute. All right. Now, one thing I am gonna do on that, I'm finding me a flat button. See, it's got a flat side. Gluing it down so it'll hold it down. There we go. There we go. All right, it should be done. Now, I got quiet for a minute because I was thinking. I really was thinking. One of the things I was thinking is the rings have got to go on this side. So, what do? I just take this up a little bit. I'm going to migrate it over. See, you can always fix your mistakes. And I made the big mistake very first time. Sorry about that, but we're going to fix it. Just going to do this right here on the parts. There we go. Hold him down a little bit. You just have to hold him down a little bit when you're on this glue. You got a little bit of drying time. I'm not crazy about that little bit of drying time, but it is what it is. So now I have room for my 2 rings, and I still have room for my flaps. So that's a good thing. Now, I'm not like Maymay, and I know I should be, and I'm trying better to be, to plan ahead. But sometimes I just get so excited about it, I forget to plan ahead. So right now, I'm going to wait a little while. I could, and I think I will, I could do this, make me a little, just cut me a little piece, fold it over, and trim it up here, just this way. And on the inside of this, I'm going to do something. Open this up, and then I'm going to take one of my, this is Then Sings My Soul. And I want something a little fun inside this one. So I'm going to put it on my, I love these things. Love them. Just love them. I can't tell you how much I love them. I'm not a stamper, y'all, so I'm learning. But I'm really, really loving stamping. I don't care if this is straight or if it's crooked. I just want it to be on there. I don't care if it's smudged because, like you say, this is a vintage piece. It's not a perfect piece. There we go. There we go. Upside down and up, right side up, so you can choose which one you want. Okay, I'm going to stick him right down in there. That's a place you can have a note, card. You can have anything you want. All right. The other thing I found in my stash as I was looking are these vintage flowers. And when I saw that little flower, I thought, I want one of these. So I'm going to choose the red one. And I'm going to just cut him out. I have some of these still. I try to find them so I can have them when we have class. I can put them in your little kits. There, that goes there. See? Now, that's looking pretty good to me. I'm really, really beginning to like that. So I'm going to set him aside, and I'm going to do my back. This is going to be my back. So I have to remember I want my back side to be flat because it's going to lay down more. So I'm going to go back to my papers. Put my ink back up here. I'm going to go through my papers, and I'm going to look through here. And I think I want something that's got this little, already has a little design, like the bird or the bottom of the bird house. Let's see what else we have through here. Let's see what this has. Let's do that. That way we can write on it. We can write. We can have this little owl on there. Do we want the chandelier on there? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to set that one aside. Let's look through here again. You know, we could have a collage on the back. Would be really pretty. So let's just look through here. Oh, that looks pretty. All right. Now then, since it's going to be on the back. No, that won't work. It's going to have to be on the other side. All right, here we go. Now, this is my process. I know it's kind of really neat. Oh, look at that. Now, look, how many stickers could you make out of that? That's so neat. I love this pack of paper. It's beautiful. All right, I think I'm pretty much set over there on the owl. I think he's pretty wise old owl, except maybe this one's pretty. Okay, I like this one. All right, I'm sold. Here we go. There we go. Liking it. Okay. Let's put the papers back over here because we'll be back into that pile. And I'm gonna cut this. Now I know a lot of you are freaking out because you're going, oh, you could measure that and you could cut it on your cutter. And I know, but I get so excited sometimes I forget about my cutter. And I just use my scissors. Isn't that gonna be pretty? Oh wow, yeah, there we go. And purple is my daughter's favorite color. So here we go with glue. We're gonna put a good bead on here. I'm still learning about a lot of the paper making. I'm at the card making because I'm not a card maker. I really wasn't a journal maker. I was more a watercolorist and more of a acrylics. But these papers are like fabrics and I love fabrics. Okay, that's cool. Now, I do want something on here that is dimensional, but let's remember it's going to be on the back, so we don't want it really dimensional. Let me see if I can find something that will lay. And this is part of the process. Don't get discouraged or upset. The process is finding what you want and how you want it. I really would like to have something. Ah, there we go. There we go. This is it. This is part of a collar. So it's going to automatically go into a, let's see. Look here. Look at this. Here I go back with the flowers. I don't know where these came from, but I absolutely love these. I think I'm going to snip and place. I like to do things in threes, and they're just more attractive to me. Bucky says it's because I'm odd. Huh. Everybody knows that. Oh yeah, these are going to be good. These are going to be good. So let's glue these little pretties down. And I'm going to glue them down flat. There we go. Like I say, with the fabrics, you have to hold it just a second. Just enough to make sure it's down. And then you even have to come back. So I think I'm going to put one here. Just the placement of them sometimes. And like I said, if you put them in the wrong place, hey, we can always cover them up or move them. I also like to overlap most of the time. Sometimes I don't. Like this one is only going to overlap just a little bit. And we're going to get him down in there. How are y'all liking this? I'm loving it. But I love all of it. Love fabrics. I love papers. I love journals. So I'm liking it all. There we go. So it's very easy, very plain. But the paper did the work. That's one reason I love this paper. It did the work and it blends really good with these vintage linens and lace that we have. So I'm going to put him aside. And let's see how this one's drying. Let's give him just a minute more. I'm going to put him aside. Now I'm going to do an inside page. Okay, I've already hidden all my stuff, so got to find it again. Let me clean out my space. Now, let's find a paper to cover this one. And I was thumbing through it. I saw. Now, this is a quick and easy version of what I'm doing. Now, one thing that I didn't do that I should do, but sometimes I get so carried away I don't, and that's decide where my holes go. So I can keep in my mind which side of the page this is and which way I want the so I'm going to mark me some holes here. Now, I'm going to get out of the frame and get my crocodile. Thought I had it, but I don't. Sorry, folks. I have to do this when I'm in there. Okay. Here we go. Here's how I do my holes. A lot of people don't do them this way. A lot of people do them another way. them again so they're the same place. And then I'm going to do this one. Y'all are getting all of my hidden secrets, aren't you? Here again, I know a lot of you are very, very particular about it. And if you are, you measure, and it's okay. You can measure. There's no problem with that. I just sometimes don't. So, if that doesn't work, then we'll go to another one. All right, here we go. Here we go. This will be our next page. I know you just said I had those on the wrong side, and you're right, so I'll fix it later. All right, let's see. I think I'm really liking this bird on here. I'm going to show you another way that I have put my paper on. I'm going to give you all this trade secrets. I have done it this way. Paper is doing a lot of the work for me. This way, you can get a journal done in a couple of hours and give it as a gift that very afternoon, or you can take your time and do it over 2 or 3 days, one or the other. I work fast. I've always had to work outside the home, and I've always had very little time, so I just like working fast. And the way these came about with me was when we were traveling, when we started traveling, I knew I wanted to keep record of it, but I didn't have time to come home and take care of it. So what did I do? I made my journals and I carried them with me, but I never had a whole lot of time to make it. Look, that matches that, isn't that pretty? Okay, I want that. Now I want a flap up under there also. Oh my goodness, look at this. Doesn't that look like a butterfly wing? Oh my goodness. Loving that. Loving that. Okay, let's do this. Under. All right. Under here, we're going to cut this page just like it is. Glue it down. And when we get this glued down, I'm going to show you how to make a pocket with it. Show you how I'm going to do this. You see that's this is the bottom part of it, so I'm going to match it up, sorta, in the best way I can. Now, I'm only going to glue it on 2 sides until I figure out. I'm going to make it like a belly band. There we go. I didn't even know what a belly band was until I came to work here. I know, lots of mamas that wear them on their bellies, but I didn't realize that it was a term that you could use with paper. So, there we go. Now, that little piece, I want to take this. Now I'm tearing it so that the tear is on the white is on the underside, because I don't want the white to show. I'll tear this paper this way. I'll come down here this way. Now, you can either tear on the bottom if you want to, which I don't want to this time, but you can, and all you have to do is fold it down and tear it. And I'm going to put that right here. But what I want to do right here, and I'm doing this so I can see my, there we go. I want to put this right on top of it. I'm going to cut this right here. And then I'm just going to lay it right on top of it. Remember, I want it to be open at the bottom, so I'm just putting my glue right here on the top. My glue lines aren't as straight as Maymay's. I'm going to get her to teach me how to do that one day. She is absolutely awesome at what she does. Love it. Okay, we got that down there. That gives us another dimension there. Okay, see how that, and you can write on the back of this. You can put a, you know what we could do? Oh my goodness, maybe we can do this. Let's see what we can do with this. See this little notepad that's on this paper? I'm loving the way this does. Okay, I'm gonna tear it kind of like it's torn. You see how it's torn? And I'm gonna hold my finger. I hold my finger where I want it to tear. This is kind of like when you were in grade school, you got to tear. So there we go. Tore that out. I have this torn out. So what I can do, if I want, and I decided I don't want to, I can put these two together. I'll put a little hole in it. Then I'm gonna find a really narrow piece of lace. I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna try to poke it through that hole. So you've got two, oops, I missed that hole. Oh well. Oh well, I missed it. See, you can fix it any way you want. So we'll go this way. I hope I'm not freaking some people out with my, as one lady told me, my carelessness. But I have a rhyme and a reason. Love doing it. There you go. Now, you got your little piece you can put right up here. All right, the other thing I see that I don't really, that I want to change is this top up here. So I'm going to find a smaller piece. This is a process. It's not an exact science. It's a process. So you really have to be mindful of not getting in a hurry, like I do most of the time, because I get so excited about how it's looking. Oh, maybe this. Oh yes, look at this. This is pretty. Let's decide how I want. Let's see, the holes over. I think I want it to hang from the corner. Okay, and I want it loose, so I'm just going to put some glue right around in here, and maybe a little bit up here, because I want the bottom to be loose. There we go. Now, found this pretty little button. Can you see this little button? Let me see if you can see it. Look how pretty that is. I love all that detail. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that little hole, and I'm going to try to make this button fit so it fits through that hole and glues in. We're just going to do, gotta hold it just a second. And then over here on this side, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to not use it. I'm going to use this one this way. I'll cut this little tab off. There we go. All right, now remember, this is our little belly band. We don't want to get it too covered up, so we're going to think about that. That's too wide. It's a process. I know. Are y'all getting impatient? Nope, that's not it either. That's not it. This might be it. Ah, yes, there we go. I knew we would find it. It's just a matter of time. All right, I want to cut this down a little bit. And by the way, this was a collar to a dress, probably a 1940s. Isn't that pretty? But we're gonna repurpose it and use it. Instead of it staying in a drawer. Now, I keep this little thing in here to remind me that I don't want to cover it up or close it up. My mind wanders sometimes. I know you all probably don't have that problem, but I do. Okay, now here again, probably gonna have to glue a little more. When you do the paper on the fabric, just a little hint, just hold it just a second. This glue is amazing because it will. And I'm going to cut around. I love these Tim Holtz scissors for this part. They just cut through whatever I want them to. There we go. Now, that one's done. How are we liking that? All right, we need something here. I want something narrow. Perfect. Perfect. Now, I do want this to hang off the page a little bit. I don't want it to be all the way up on there, so I'm going to let it hang off the bottom a little bit. I just like the way it looks when it hangs out. I like little hangy down things on the thing, so I'll just hold it a little bit here again. Now we've got our bird there, and if you want to, since this paper has more than one page, you could fussy cut a bird and make the bird three-dimensional if you wanted to, but I don't want to today. So this is in one other page. See how quick and easy that was? It's just a matter of being able to fiddle through. You have to try different things at different times. Don't be afraid to do that. All right, so let's recap. All right, I wanted this to have some dimension in it, and I wanted to have a pocket of sorts. So I made a belly band, and then I decided what papers I wanted in there and why, so I can journal on them or put a tiny picture. And then I wanted this to overlap and make it have dimension. Then I added these things for dimension, and I wanted some hanging off at the back. Now, the other thing I'm going to do here that I just decided I want to do, I think I'm going to try to make a tab. Should have thought about that first, shouldn't I, to put it there. I'll do it on the next one. All right, let's let this one dry before we do that other side. Now, here we go. This is the back. Here again, I'm going to have to redo my holes because they're on the wrong side, but all right, so this page is what I'm going to do next right here. All right, this is the next to the back page, sort of, kind of. So here we go. Here again, I think I'm going to use some paper. So let's go back to our papers and see what we're thinking. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use what's left of this sheet. There we go. All right, now how I'm going to use this is I want to make, do I want diagonal? I think I want a diagonal pocket. Okay, so now let's see, does that work? No, that doesn't work, but I do like the way that is. So let's do this way. Now my mind thinks as I go, which could possibly be a dangerous thing. I'm not sure. That would fit the whole page there. So I'm going to tear this. Whoops, wrong way. Tear this way. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. And I'm going to tear this way. All right, there we go. Love it. Love it, love it. Okay. Take this off here. As my mind is working and working and working and working. All right, I'm going to come over here and find another neutral paper. I want to find a neutral paper. I think this might work. Let's see if this will work. Yeah, this will work. Okay, I'm going to put them on here. I got to get my bearings right. I'll put it this way. Now, the reason I did it that way is I want this little piece to be available if I want to use it. If I want to use it, I can. So, let's cut him. There we go. I'm going to put him. Check again. I might have to make this another page. I might have to make this not the back, because I did put the holes in the wrong place. Now, I'm gonna fix it right now before I forget. This is the back side, and I did it wrong, so I'm going to stack my pieces up. Okay, there we go. Gotta do that side. There we go. And see, I put them on the wrong side. Okay, instead of cutting that out of the whole film, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna do to fix it. I'm getting my holes close. Now I'm doing this just like I do it at home. And I tell you, you can measure, you don't have to measure. I don't care if it's spot on. I just care. All right, now, I know I got these on the wrong side, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna cover it up. Now, here again, this is my back, so I want it to be flat. So I'm gonna find me some more of my little flowers that I had, and I'm just gonna make me a little strip down that side to cover it up. Now, don't have to be spot on. I just want to make sure those holes are covered up. So, just going to glue these down pretty good because, like I say, it is the back. Hold it just a second. I'm going to get the other side. I'm having fun. I hope y'all are having fun. I know this process is not what normally happens on Maymay's channel, but I sure do love doing it, and I enjoy it. When I'm at Made It Con, I so love to share what I do. Okay, now, got me a bunch of flowers on there. Not real happy that they're scattered, so I'm gonna connect them. And I found this little piece of rickrack just sitting up there all lonely. And I think I'm gonna connect these just as if it were the vine, a vine that the flowers were growing on. Even though it is the back, this may turn out to be the best page, my favorite page. Uh-oh, missed it. I remember when you were kids, you're going, miss me, now you gotta kiss me. There we go. Now I'm gonna glue this on. This down. It gets quiet when I get to thinking about gluing. Alright, so I'm going to bring him back around here. And I'm going to bring him to here. There we go. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Made a mistake into something beautiful. Love it when that happens. It always reminds me of God makes something beautiful out of a mistake so many times. Alright, here we go. There we go. Now, love it. Okay, glad that's taken care of. Alright, here, go back to where we were. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put our glue around again. And it glued pretty good here. So we're gonna measure him up, put him on there. Okay, he's the back. There we go. Now I'm gonna take my piece that I tore and I'm gonna tear him again. Little side to show. Here again, you got to think about which side you tear when you have one-sided, which is fairly easy to do. Okay, let's look at this. Yeah, I like it when it shows around. It's like the page is torn. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Notice I'm doing just 3 sides because I want this to be a pocket of sorts. Okay. All right. Now see my little fleur-de-lis show just a little bit here on this side, which is what I wanted. Now, we're gonna find something else to put in here, which is gonna be this. I'm just gonna cut it. I'll straighten it out, I promise. I'm gonna straighten it out this way. Now, what I want in here is another tag of sorts. Let me see if I can find my little bit. There it is. Find my little bitty lace. I love when I find these little bitty pieces of lace. Most of the time it'll get overlooked because it's so hard to sew down. Oh, those ladies that's, oh gosh, I have seen some of the most beautiful vintage pieces, and this lace, not only do they hand make it, they also sew it down with these tiny little stitches. Let's do it this way. We're gonna come around it and make our little knot. Okay, yeah, that'll look good in there. Okay, now on the page, now I love the way this looks, but I'm not real happy with this, the way it goes there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it up here, just like that, so it'll flap up. And then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna cut me a little strip of it, and I'm gonna put it over it. Okay. Now, this one you have to hold down. It took me a minute to figure out how to do this because it is a little bit, I did get quiet, didn't I? Because I'm concentrating on it right now. It might not glue down the first time. You always have to hold it a little bit. Hold it just a touch. Yeah, that did it. That did it. And now I'm going to take and find it. I'm digging over here in that pile that I showed you before. That's what I'm digging in. Okay, here's what I want. I want to take, and I'm using these like embellishments. Just like little embellishments that we find. There's another word for it that I forget. There we go. Now, let me find my holes. Let's put our holes in here. That way I won't get lost again. Okay. There we go. And then I think on this other side, do you know what this is? I did some research on this, and these are underwear buttons. They're made out of bone, and they're carved, and that was some of the first buttons that the settlers or the people, I guess wherever be, put on their underwear. Is that not cool? All right, there we go. That's up there. It's still got room for my little piece here. And then I want something down here that's gonna be three-dimensional. I wonder, I've never done this. Let me see if I can figure this out. We can make another little pocket. Oh yes, that will be cool. Let's do that. Let's make another little pocket here with this quilt. I'm loving it. I've never done this before, So this is going to be a first. I've never really used quilt before, but I've been wanting to do it, so I wanted somebody to come along with me in case I made a mistake about it, that they could go, oh, that's okay, Brenda. There we go. Oh, yes. That looks good. I am surprised. Okay, let's add another dimension to it. Just another little one that we can. Let's just frill it up a little bit there. Now, here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to, instead of make it straight across, I'm going to put a little frill in it. So let's put our bead right here. Remember, this is like a little pocket, so okay, here we go. So let's go here, and let's bring a little tuck in it here, and another little tuck in it there. Look at there. Perfect. Now I want to dig around over here, and I want to show you something that I found. There's a couple of things that I have found. This is a little card. It's a vintage card. Maybe you can see it really good. And it says, for the graduate, a remembrance with congratulations and all good wishes for your future happiness. Miss Sewell, for the graduate. That is an old piece. So I'm going to tuck him in because he's got those colors that are in here. And see that little rose? It matches this little rose. So I'm going to tuck him down in there just to have something that's really, really special in it. So that's my next to the back page. Now I think my front page is probably dry by now. So let's flip him over. I've got a few little things I want to do on him, but I'm going to wait until the end. Let's flip him over. And these little cards, Mary found these for me. I don't know what they are, where she found them, how she got them, but they're not old, but they're copies of old things. It was just in a bunch of stuff she handed me. So I'm going to think about using that. But let me show you something else. Look at these pretty little paper dolls. Look at there. Let's use a couple of those. Let's find us a place. I'm going to put it out there so we can see. There's that one, and there's this one, and this one. This is an older lady. So let's just use the girls. Let's do that. All right. Now let's see if we can find a paper. Now, here's another thing you got to think of. Here's the page that goes beside it. Now, let me explain. Is that the one? Yeah. I don't try to matchy it. I really don't. But I don't want it to be so far that it fights each other, I guess you could say. So let's find some paper over here that have, and we may end up using this on another page, but let's see what we can find in our papers that have maybe a little bit of that red in it. Well, there's one that has a bird on it, just like the other bird. Oh, look at this music paper. Oh my goodness, and we have that music stamp that we used a while ago. We might figure out something for that. All right, let's lay him over here. This is pretty paper. There's a song called Pretty Paper, isn't there? Okay. Here we go. Now, let's get him on here. Whoops. Probably need to put some in the middle so he won't bulk. I sometimes get carried away and use too much glue. And that's very easy to do. Hey, are any of you all going on the cruise? I'm excited about the cruise. I'm so excited. If not, remember we got Made It Con coming in 2020, and it's going to be right here in our backyard, and I'm so excited for you all to be able to come and see where all we work and play. I call this my play place. It's just all kinds of new stuff happening. We got new products always coming in. All right, that got a little crooked, didn't it? Y'all are gonna say, you shouldn't have done that. You should have cut it with your cutter. Well, probably should have, but I didn't. Okay. All right, there we go. that's pretty paper. Okay, so since we like that paper, let's go over here and find us some, that almost mimics this is part of a wedding dress. I don't know how I can remember what all of these are a part of. All right, now that to me looks like an overlay. So let's try to get that as an overlay. We can do that and maybe make us a little angle pocket. We'll work on that. Okay, let's see. If we do this in angle, I tell you, this is something I don't normally do, but I'm thinking I like the way that she looks on here, and I want her to be on top of, but now the one thing that I do like to have pockets in everything I do. That way you can put your pictures, you can put your papers, you can put all of your good stuff on there. So I'm going to think about this. You know, I'm big on not wasting paper, but I think I'm going to waste a little bit. Thought I had it upside down, but I don't. Okay. I rarely ever use the same paper on the same page, but this paper just really speaks to me. Sometimes they do. I guess it's because I like to sing. If y'all ever get the chance to hear Vince sing, y'all do it. He is awesome at what he does. All right. Look at that. Well, that was quick and easy. And let's put her right there. Now we can do this here. If it were a little shorter, I would like it a little better. So let's see if we can find something a little, ooh, that's pretty right there. Okay, this is cut off pretty straight, so I'm gonna cut it out so it appears to not be straight, if that makes sense. Same way here. All right, I'm liking that there. That just kind of dresses it up, doesn't it? Do I like it that way better? Okay, if I do that, I'm gonna cut this petal off. There we go. All right, here we go. A little glue on him. I don't want him to be too glued down so straight, so I'm just going to dot the glue. I don't have to worry about it coming off because this glue is so great about keeping things glued down. So I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to dot me some glue in various places. Then I'm going to put him in, place him where I want him. Uh-oh, that's not going to be good. So hold him down a little bit. And then I think she's going to fit right there. All right, let me make sure where my holes are. So I won't I lost my hole. Okay, there he is. Now I'll know where my holes are. Okay, so let's put her, because we're going to put this down here. So let's put her down here. Just right there. That gives her a nice little place to stay. And it gives us another dimension too. All right, what do we want to do here? Let's put it right there. There goes that nice sound again. Mama used to make all my clothes. I loved it. She would make me something and overnight, and I could wear it to school the next day. Y'all remember when the block colors were in? You had the neon orange and the greens, and she made me a block dress, we called it. It had a block of this and a block of that. It was true 60s, buddy. And I loved it. Now I'm going to pinch it just a little bit because I want it to be just a little more dimension. Okay, now we need something to put in our pocket. So I'm going to take a few of these cards that have a back. At first I I thought they were playing cards because when I picked them up on the back side. I didn't know they had things in the front. So since this is a little girl, let's put a couple of these in there. And all we're going to do is just slide them down in there and put the little flap over. Now, I want to take this and I want to I'm going to go back to my flowers. And I'm going to put 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, do I like those or do I like these? I like the smaller ones. I can tell already. Okay, here we go. Here again, I'm going to separate them instead of doing them all in the row. And that kind of gives us some more leeway on how we use them. If you ever, you can find this at the thrift store, estate sales. When you're at the thrift store, so many people say, well, I never find any. Look at don't look for vintage. Look at the dresses and look at the lace trims. Look at the buttons that are on them. You know, there's so many ways that you can use buttons. And in fact, some of this did come off of blouses and different dresses that were from an thrift store. And you just trim that off and just use that. Like this wedding dress, it came from the thrift store. And I've used, oh my goodness, I cannot tell you how much I have used. Let's make sure this still flaps up because sometimes when you get that glue. All right, one more. And we'll have this page pretty much done. Okay. Let's put him this way. Whoops. There we go. Hold him down just a second. That's all it takes is just hold him down just a second, but it makes a huge difference. Now, if you want a little more, all you got to do is stick a little more glue on there. All right. Now, let's regroup here. We've got our flap over. We put our dimension here. We've got our little fellas in here. All of them are children because she's a little children. That's probably as matchy-matchy as I get. So, all right. So,
there you go, guys. That is Brenda doing part 1 of her vintage album. What are you calling this album?
I tell you, I call them the whole thing, linen and lace albums.
They're linen and lace. I always call them vintage because of all of your vintage pieces.
Vintage is too. I like the vintage. But look, I did a quilting one.
I love this.
I was so excited. This is the first time I've done a quilt on the front.
Now, I can't wait to watch the video myself. I have not seen it. She's been in this room for 3 hours with the door shut, and we haven't been able to come in. But you guys have been able to see it already, and I'm super excited. So this was part 1. Part 2 is to come. And if you're watching this later and part 2 is already filmed, you'll be able to look in the description below and get the link to part 2 as well.
Yes, yes. Oh, and we have a secret pocket.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and look, I did stamp.
I love it. I do love it. I'm going to go watch the video myself. Thank you, Brenda. We'll see you again in part 2.
Thank you for having me.
All right.